Most advice about scaling tells you the exact same thing. They keep telling you to constantly create new ads and to find new winners, but that's not what the big guys in the industry are doing. I've seen thousands of ads with good ad metrics that were supposed to help the brand scale, but they didn't. So in this video, I'm going to show you what the big brands are actually doing and the framework that I basically created to get you ads and landing pages that are getting you sales constantly. So in e-commerce, I'm seeing that more and more people are getting ads that they think are working well only because they got some clicks and they got some good numbers on it, but they don't have enough sales. And when people hit your landing page, basically everything stops and the bounce rate is huge, the engagement time is very low, and of course with this the conversion rate is low. And this is why. So I'm going to start off with something very basic, and I know that you probably already know this, but it is that basically nowadays no one trusts you, right? So I'm on this app, it's called Atria, and as you can see, there are like so many ads here. Like I know this is very generic. I just wrote hell here, and there are so many ads here. And the thing is that before the person saw your ad, they already saw hundreds of other ads before yours, right? So they're scrolling, they're seeing all of these different sort of ads, and the thing is that they can't trust you, right? Because with this many brands, how can they know if you are actually going to deliver on your promise, right? How can they know if you are different? So when they actually see your ad, the first thing in their mind is not, okay, is this person actually going to like deliver the promise that he's saying over here? The first thing that the person is thinking is this guy legit, or is this just another copy paste store? Because if I scroll through this, like most likely, yes, there are some very big brand names here like IM8 Health and like all of these other ones, Supergut, but some of this, like the other ones, like they basically sound like the same thing said over and over again in maybe just a bit of a different version, but they sound like they're a copy paste store with just a different logo and maybe some different colors, some different faces, and that's it. And this actually leads us to the second problem, which is that you look like everyone else, right? So what these people like to do, so let's say BioCol Lab, like I don't know them, okay, they have a lot of ads, they're probably doing decent, but if someone new comes into this space, like let's say they see IM8, right? What they're going to do is they're going to copy everything that IM8 is doing, but you can't be doing it because IM8 already owns a space, and when they see you, as I already said, you are going to look like everyone else because everyone else is copying IM8, and now you're also joining that. So with this, you basically have like the same layout, you have the same promises, the same offer, the same angles, the same premium quality that everyone says, right? So your customer, let's say, clicks your ad, they go on your store and they read your messaging, and they feel like they've already seen the exact same thing hundreds of times before. They've clicked the ad and they've seen the same sort of layout, the same messaging, the same explanation hundreds of times before, and you just seem like you just have a different product label basically. But what are these brands that most people are copying from doing? So you're copying from them, but you don't even know why they are winning, right? You think it's their ad, you think it's their product, you think it's their website. Well, let me tell you, it's not. So these guys, they aren't actually like the best, they don't have the best product, let's say, in the industry. Maybe they do, but most likely they don't. What they have is their positioning, and they've basically found their market position. Because in a crowded market like this, it is actually better to be better positioned than to have the best quality brand or product, right? Because look at this, like everyone in your market is saying the exact same thing, and they're like, look at me, like, oh, if you buy my product you will feel X, Y, and Z. If you buy my product, or you've been through this and this, and but bro, everyone in the industry is saying the exact same thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is that these are the guys that actually win, right? The guys that have their positioning figured out. Because if let's say I am seeing like all of these ads, like this is going to be the ad that is actually going to catch my attention, not any of this, because they basically all look the same, right? So it is not the ones that are shouting like the loudest, like buy from me, like my ingredient is the best, my ingredients are the best, my product is the best. They don't win, because if you were actually the best, you would be number one already. And this person looking at this guy with a different positioning is going to feel like, yeah, this guy actually like created a product that is exactly for me. He's not like all of these other brands that are copying each other, just trying to make money off of me, right? This guy actually knows me and built a product for me. So this is where you want to actually be at. Okay, so what should you actually do? So Your job is actually to find your position in the market. So the thing is that every market has a hole. Now for some markets it is 100% going to be harder to find these holes, but for others it is going to be easier. But the thing is that you need to say something that your competitors aren't saying. So just like this, you need to basically be in your own lane, like the color basically describes, like people that have their own positioning. And then this is where the right person is going to find you and they're going to trust you the most, not because of your best product that you have, but because of your position and because of the way that you're selling your product, and because of the space that you found in the market. So basically your job is to find the hole and fill the hole. Shout out Spencer for this. And I'll make a whole video on positioning because honestly it's so important. But for now, just ask yourself, so what is the enemy? What can we stand against that the customer already hates? What's the thing that no one in your market has positioned their brand around? Maybe a fear, a frustration, a desire that nobody's saying out loud. What subcategory can we own? So for example, you aren't selling a supplement, but you're selling sleep for high performers, right? Or for the example for Liquid Death, you're not selling water, but you're selling water for people that hate plastic, right? So let's just look at them. Like, look at how simple this product is, right? It's like they're selling literally water in a can, right? The product is simple, but their positioning is very well, and that is not simple. And then another important thing is that your landing page and your ads, they can't be clickbait, because let's say for YouTube, right? When you watch a YouTube video and when the title and when the thumbnail explains something, you're expecting to see that, right? But if you created an ad or if you wrote a headline for a landing page or a hero section just so you could get people hooked in, and you don't deliver on your promise, or you haven't like taken care of the rest of the ad, you haven't taken care of the rest of the landing page, you are just over promising on a certain thing or your product, then people are going to treat you like just how they would treat a YouTuber like this. Like, they are going to quit, right? They're going to bounce. They are going to never come back again on your store when they see your ad. They are not going to click ever again, and they might even just start hating you, right? So if you want a higher conversion rate without spending any more on ads, stop copying bigger brands. Build a position you can own, find a gap in your market, and make your message basically fill this position and fill this hole. Okay, let's say you got the click, but do you actually understand like why you got the click? Like, let's assume you are not clickbaiting, and let's assume that something in the ad actually like intrigued the person to click, right? You need to understand what this thing was. Was it a specific promise, like a specific pain point, a specific angle, a specific outcome? If you don't know what it was, like, you're basically spraying and praying. And honestly, the thing that I hate like a lot about the e-commerce space, and what I've heard so many creators say, is that you just gotta keep like creating new ads. You gotta launch new ads. Like, let's say just set a number for 5 ads every day. They don't need to be perfect. Like, just launch them and just start creating them, right? But this is honestly just like throwing crap at a wall and you're hoping that it sticks. Like, it won't work. Okay, let's say maybe it might work for the short term. Let's say you will find a winner, but this is not good because you don't have a strategic, repeatable system. And I'm going to show you what this actually does so below, but you need to understand that getting the click like that is only half the job basically. The other half is also understanding what made someone click and actually using that information on the landing page as well. So you basically must keep on building on the curiosity, right? So you need to make the ad and the landing page always work together. Because let's say your ad like intrigued them, right? They saw your product and they're like, okay, this is something interesting. They click on your ad and your landing page just they instantly go to a product page, to a long-form sales page that is not good, and they're like, okay, well, hold on, like, I was just interested, like, I'm not ready to be sold to, I'm not still sold on the idea, right? So when you have a good system, this is what it actually looks like, right? So let's say with spraying and praying, right? As I said, you might find a couple of winners, like let's say here and there. Here you find one winner. Let's say you are building a strategic system, right? Here you find another, here also you find a winner. But the difference between these two is that with this one, you actually take the time to understand why did this ad actually win, right? And then the next like batch of ads that you build with this one, because you don't understand what happened, you're not going to find another winner. But with this one, because you actually do know why it happened, you're going to find a winner, right? And then as time goes on, you can see how this keeps on stacking right over here. So then another winner, then oh, in the same week, two winners, then okay, one. In the same week, three winners. And here in the same time frame, you have found, what the fuck, there's a dog, bro. So as I said, in the same time frame, it took these guys to get this many winning ads. You only got like two winning ads, and they probably weren't even as good as this ones, right? So now what I'm going to do is actually pull up an ad and break it down. I'm going to show you what the ad is really selling and what's actually like doing the persuading, like on the proof, the mechanism, like how they frame their product. I'm going to show you how you're going to actually translate it into your landing page copy, into a headline, into your hero section, the product page flow, and etc. So let's do that right now. So this is the ad for a brand called Puppy Pet, and I'm not going to go through the whole ad because it's too long, but I'll just explain it so you get the idea for what the product ad list is.
Watch how shelters get 50 untrained dogs to use pads instantly. So picture this. It's 6 a.m. I'm half asleep, walking to the bathroom barefoot, and that cold, wet feeling between your toes. You know exactly what I'm talking about. My Shih Tzu Lucy peed next to her pad. Again, like every morning. The pad's right there, brand new. She sniffs it, then pees 2 inches away on my hardwood. I've tried everything. Different brands, those fake grass ones. Nothing works. 4 years of stepping in pee. My floors are molding in the... I show up, they stick me with this guy Trevor who runs intake. 30 dogs just arrived. Some literally... Trevor puts down these thick fabric pads. Look like hospital pad anything. No treats, nothing. This scared dog walks straight to the pad and pees on it. I literally...
So you can basically see what the idea of the brand is, and this is, I think, like their top winning ad at the moment. And you're getting the idea, right? You're getting that this can't ever be like a clickbait ad, right? When you go in the store, you know exactly what you're looking for, you know why you're looking for it. They have basically explained your life, right? They've explained how you wake up and you just try to go to the bathroom and you step on your dog's pee and you're like you're feeling like disgusted. And when you're a dog owner, and when you have actually gone through this, you're like this is what I've been looking for, like this is exactly for me. And even if let's say I have been going through this, like even let's say I wasn't looking for something like this, when I see this, I'm instantly like going to get sold on, like, and this is how it works for a cold audience, right? They didn't know that they needed this, they didn't even know this existed, but now they're getting sold on the idea because they have just explained what they're going through so well, and they have actually sold their product so well, and it seems like it's a real story. And if I click shop now, let's say, so this is where it lands on a listicle, not a product page. They are still not sold 100% on the idea, right? Because as I said, remember, they were just interested in the product, right? It caught their attention, but now they go here, and this is a listicle that is going to continue warming them up, is going to continue selling them, and only then, only after I read, I get the chance to actually shop now and go to their product page. This is how your funnel is actually supposed to look like. Don't copy this. Let me tell you that. Don't copy this. Think of your own funnel. Think of your own brand. Think of what is going to work for you. And this brand is not selling because of the structure of this, right? It's not selling because of that. It's selling because of the way they wrote their pre-lender, because of the way they created the ad. So all of those things combined, you must think about your brand like very carefully, right? And a quick warning about AI and copying competitors again. So what a lot of brands like to do is they just paste some prompt into AI and they just publish like whatever AI comes out with, or they just copy competitors, as I said before. And this is exactly why your store is not converting. If you're doing this, this is exactly why, because nothing here is coherent. The ad basically creates like one expectation, and then the landing page, it feels like every other brand. So once you know why your ad is working, use that everywhere. So in your ads, your landing page, your email, your offer, your messaging, everywhere. Because remember that the goal is not to get the click. The goal is actually to make the person think like, this is exactly what I want right now, and this is the brand that I trust to actually buy it from. And look, I'll be honest, like I know that this is not easy. Like you need to like finding a real positioning in the market and translate it into a landing page that converts. And even let's say that you know like where the gap in the market is, and let's say you understand like why someone actually clicks the ad, like even then this is going to take a lot of work. So I want to set some expectations. So for us, it actually takes like a week, like not even weeks, like most of the times like a couple of months to fully get this right for a brand and actually find their positioning in the market. But once we do, like once we find the positioning, I'm telling you, like the whole life of that brand and of the person running it like changes, and it's only up from there. Because when you truly own a position, your competitors cannot copy paste it. Even if they try, it actually backfires most of the time, because the customer is going to probably just see them as knockoffs, and when they actually see their ad, they're going to be like, wait, I have seen this before, right, like you, the other brand, actually did this and you actually did it better because you were first in the market. So the copycat doesn't steal your customers, but they actually like reinforce you, like your brand is the original of that positioning. And as I said, this is not an overnight thing. Like you are going to probably like constantly need to test like new landing pages, new ads, like new headlines, new heroes. Like it's not going to be like, hey, this is my call to action, I'm going to change the color of the button and then this is going to make my store convert more, right? But that's not it. Like that's not going to work. So you need to probably like constantly test, constantly understand, constantly test different angles, and just show the person that you understand the like their real unspoken desires, their fears, their frustrations that they actually can't even tell publicly, like the beliefs that they already have about the market and your product, like the past failures that they had with similar products, and maybe the solutions that they've experienced or maybe that didn't work, and all of those things. You need to show the person that you understand them, because when the person actually sees your ad and they're like, okay, these guys actually understand me, like they know me, they know what I've been through, they know what's going on in my life, and the conversion rate, the money is going to like go up from there. And let me give you an example of like messaging that is generic versus messaging that is like sort of position, right? So instead of let me even take let's say someone that is helping someone like generate money, or a finance coach or something like that. So instead of them saying like that you need to build like a 6-month emergency fund, they're going to say like imagine like you are lying in bed at 3 a.m. and you're feeling sick and you're not even sure if you can take a sick day off, and then tell me like which one of these do you think someone is going to want to buy from more, like this person they basically explain what they're going through, or this person that just tell them like, hey, I'm going to help you build a 6-month emergency fund. Like yeah, I think there's an obvious answer here. And as I said, it's hard to get this right the first time, right? You need constant tests. Like you're going to test different types of angles and like every idea that you get, right? So for example, you're going to understand like, does an advertorial work for you? Maybe a listicle is going to do better for you. Maybe a long form sales page is going to do better for you. Maybe you need to talk more about a villain in the beginning. So basically what you're up against. Maybe more about the beliefs, right? So what your customer basically already believes, and all of these things you're going to need to test. Like there, or actually there are so many things to test that I think that by now you're supposed to be like excited. You're supposed to be like, okay, now I have like it's clear in your mind to what you're supposed to do. Now it's just going out there and testing all of these different positioning angles and just finding the right space in your market, because you know now why sales haven't been going up. And yeah, that's the game. Like test different angles, different beliefs, different villains, different page structures until you find one that your market is actually going to respond to. Because as I said, like once you find it, you won't have a landing page that converts, but you will actually have like a position that you can own. And then as you go, you're going to keep learning from every test that you run. So for example, your ad starts performing well, right? You're going to be like, okay, cool, so why is it performing well? What exactly is making the person click? Like is it the promise? Is it the pain point? Is it the framing, the villain, the mechanism? Like whatever it is, you need to like actually take the time to understand and to find a way to basically say it on your landing page, in the headline, in the hero, like everywhere. And then let's say you might see that the ad is getting a click but the page is not converting. So now it means maybe like one of these two things, right? So maybe your landing page just isn't saying it like good enough, so you're going to try rephrasing it. You're going to lead with a different desire. You're going to jump into a different belief or a different angle, whatever it is. or maybe the ad is just attracting the wrong person. So because sometimes the ad, as I said, is just getting like some curiosity clicks, I guess they're called, because these are people that would never buy, but they are just clicking on your ad because your ad was interesting, like it caught some attention, whatever. But this is not a winning ad. This is just like very cheap and unqualified traffic. So then you're going to create new ads that are actually like going to get the person to trust you and to show some intent, that, and they're not just going to get you some clicks. They're going to pre-qualify the buyer and they're going to send the right expectations, and this is how you scale. And over time you're going to understand like what message actually gets the person to click and what message gets the person to buy once they land on your landing page. And when you get that correctly, when the ad to the landing page to them buying is all like congruent, this is when you can scale aggressively, because by this point the market actually showed you what makes them buy. But if you want to see how I helped a brand get to 600,000 per month, there's a link on the video at the moment. You can click it, you can check it out. But yeah, other than that, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.